Did you know that in the last 5 years, major banks have quietly snapped up over 12 million acres of American farmland? That's more land than the entire state of West Virginia, and hardly anyone is talking about it. And it's not just the US. Financial giants in Canada, Australia, Germany, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom are doing the exact same thing. While you were worried about sky-high housing prices or stock market roller coasters, these institutions launched one of the largest land grabs in modern history. What's driving this silent takeover may shock you, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Today, we're unmasking the hidden motives behind this trend, exploring how it undermines global food security and revealing why some call it the investment of the century, while others warn it's a dangerous concentration of power. By the time we're done, you'll see farmland in a whole new light and understand why your next grocery bill could be tied to decisions made by Wall Street boardrooms. The alarming numbers behind the land rush. Let's start with the raw data, because numbers don't lie. In 2020, financial institutions owned roughly 2% of US farmland. Today, that figure has tripled to over 6%, and it's climbing. Goldman Sachs and BlackRock aren't just lending to farmers, they're buying fields outright. Regional banks you've never heard of are building portfolios worth hundreds of billions. Across the border in Canada, PSP Investments, the federal pension fund, has become one of the largest farmland owners. Down under in Australia, over 13% of farmland is now held by foreign or institutional investors. In Germany and the UK, agricultural REITs and hedge funds are swooping in on aging family farms, often with little regulation to stop them. These aren't hobby farms or small co-ops. This is industrial-scale agriculture, controlled by suits and spreadsheets, not by generations of farmers. Why banks are betting on dirt? What's behind this massive migration into agriculture? There are at least 5 driving factors. Farmland as the ultimate inflation hedge. In an era of quantitative easing and money printing, investors crave assets that hold value. Farmland has outperformed gold, stocks, and real estate in periods of monetary expansion. During the 2008 crash, while home prices plunged, farmland values in many regions held steady or even rose. In Switzerland and Germany, farmland is prized for its stability in the face of currency fluctuations. In the UK, land prices in the southeast and the Highlands have climbed, despite Brexit upheaval. Inflation protection is the name of the game, and dirt delivers. A global food security playbook. As the planet warms and populations surge toward 10 billion, the race for arable land has become a matter of national security. China is leasing millions of acres in Africa, South America, and Australia to guarantee its food supply. In turn, Western banks are cornering prime farmland in their own backyards, especially regions blessed with reliable water sources, fertile soils, and mild climates. Owning farmland today means holding a strategic asset for tomorrow's power struggles, not just a check-written investment. Water rights, the true treasure beneath the soil. In water-scarce zones like the western US, southern Australia, and parts of Spain and Italy, the water rights attached to farmland can be worth twice the land itself. Banks understand that water scarcity will define the next century. Controlling water means controlling crop viability, political influence, and community survival. By acquiring land, these institutions secure both the earth and its most precious resource. Tech-fueled mega-farms require mega-capital. Modern agriculture has transformed into a high-tech empire. AI algorithms predict planting schedules. Drones survey thousands of acres in minutes. Robotic harvesters operate around the clock. Only deep-pocketed investors can underwrite these massive upfront costs. In Canada, Toronto-based data teams optimize crop yields with machine learning. In Australia, sensor networks monitor soil moisture in real time across entire counties. Family farms, steeped in tradition, often lack the capital to compete. By buying large tracts, banks can build industrial-grade operations that dwarf the next guy's 3-generation family enterprise. The farmer retirement crisis. The face of farming is aging. In the US, the average farmer is nearly 60 years old. The same holds true in the UK, Germany, and Australia. When these stewards retire, their heirs often pursue urban careers, not plowing fields. Into that void swoop the banks, wielding cash offers that young farmers simply can't match. The result is a quiet transfer of land from family hands into institutional portfolios, with little fanfare and far fewer regulations than you'd imagine. Together, these factors form a perfect storm, and the suits behind the desks know it. They're accumulating farmland not as a charitable gesture, but as a calculated bet on the future of food, water, and wealth. The silent consequences for communities. This isn't just an abstract financial trend. It's a tectonic shift that reverberates through rural economies and food supply chains. Rising rents. Smallholders who once owned their land now pay rent to banks, which can increase fees at will. Rigid lease terms. Contracts often dictate crop choices, sustainability practices, and profit sharing, stripping farmers of autonomy. Community erosion. As local farmers sell out, small towns see declining populations, shuttered schools, and shuttered businesses that relied on family-owned farms. From an Iowa cornfield to a Manitoba grain belt, the local fabric is unraveling. Farmland ownership isn't just an asset allocation, it's the heartbeat of rural life. Geopolitical ripples, a new kind of leverage. Imagine a world where a handful of banks decide which crops to plant, wheat or soy, corn or canola, based on profit models, not food security. They can time harvest to manipulate global prices, creating artificial shortages or gluts to boost returns. In Germany, financial firms now hold controlling stakes in wheat and barley fields, giving them sway over European bread prices. In Australia, they influence global cotton and wheat markets. This is not conspiracy, it's market power, wielded quietly from executive suites. The result? Consumers in Tokyo, Paris, and Sao Paulo feel the impact when your bank-owned plot dumps 50,000 tons of soy on the market, or holds back to drive up prices. Carbon credits and environmental commodities, the eco-profiteering. As the planet warms and carbon markets explode, farmland has morphed into a dual-purpose asset: carbon sequestration. Through no-till farming, cover crops, and afforestation, landowners can capture CO2 from the atmosphere. Banks enroll their holdings in carbon credit programs, selling the captured carbon to polluters who need to offset their emissions. Ecosystem services. By protecting wetlands, restoring riparian buffers, or maintaining biodiversity corridors, farmland qualifies for government grants and private philanthropy payments. These environmental income streams can rival, and sometimes exceed, crop revenues. Powerful groups like BlackRock's agriculture arm and UBS have entire teams negotiating offset contracts with multinational corporations desperate to meet ESG targets. A single large-scale farmland portfolio can yield millions in annual carbon credit sales on top of food production. The result is double dipping, profiting from both agriculture and environmental markets without the community-oriented stewardship that smaller farms once provide. Regulatory gaps, the Wild West of farmland ownership. Across jurisdictions, oversight varies wildly. In some U.S. states, foreign ownership caps exist, but domestic financial institutions face almost no limits. Australia's Foreign Investment Review Board approves institutional purchases with little transparency, sparking rural backlash. The EU allows cross-border farmland investment with minimal scrutiny, while Germany debates but delays ownership caps. In Canada, provincial regulations differ. Saskatchewan restricts non-resident acquisition, while Ontario remains wide open. The patchwork of weak laws enables unfettered expansion, as banks structure purchases through multiple shell companies, REITs, or subsidiaries, eluding public awareness and political accountability. Tech-driven farms. The rise of the robo-agribaron. With AI and automation, a new class of robo-agribarons is emerging. Precision agriculture uses drones, satellites, and machine learning to optimize planting density, fertilizer application, and pest management down to the square meter, drastically boosting yields. Robotic harvesters and automated irrigation systems run 24/7, requiring fewer seasonal workers and reducing labor costs by over 60%. Data analytics teams in financial hubs like Toronto, Zurich, and Frankfurt monitor millions of data points: soil moisture, plant health, weather forecasts, to adjust operations in real time. Banks provide the capital for these ultra-efficient systems, outcompeting legacy family farms. The result is industrial-scale agriculture operated as a portfolio, managed by quant analysts, not farmers. Will you support local farmers, pressure your representatives, or diversify your food sources? Subscribe to Finance Facts for weekly analyses that unmask the hidden forces shaping our world, from Wall Street to your dinner table. This is Finance Facts, standing with farmers, safeguarding food, and empowering you with the truth.